to dancing just like I tell you. And when I say hold yourself, I want all of you get ready to stop. When I say stop, don't move. And when I say get it, I want all of y'all to go boogie woogie. Hold it now. Boogie woogie.
You know, it's like every other time I forget to turn the mic on. It's fine. You can hear me now, though. Hi. Welcome to Discover RPG. Hi, Mouse. I saw you in chat before. Okay, now that we're all caught up, I am working on some timeline stuff in World Anvil, thanks to a really kick-ass set of custom code from User51, or U51 if you go to their World Anvil page. They have a really kick-ass timeline setup that they've made. Specifically, it's a horizontal scrolling timeline, which is not something that is currently live with World Anvil. It will be eventually, and I'll transition over to that when it's done. But for now, I'd like to have this this set. It was a little complicated, but I fiddled around enough, and eventually all of this pretty code got turned into this pretty timeline. Please ignore all the eyeballs that show up when I hover over it, because I'm in editor mode. But if you look in an incognito window, you can actually see what it looks like. The idea is you can, their original timeline was broken up by eons, which were 100 years apiece, and they meticulously counted out how many pixels needed for each of these lines to make the measurements on the x-axis here. But I fiddled with it more and got it to show what I call my lazy fantasy calendar, which is a 12-month, 28-day-a-month calendar, so 336 days, which allows for the same days to be across every month. So the first is always a Monday, or I think I start on Mondays. Yeah, I start this calendar on Mondays because I looked through my my campaign group and found that a lot of them use Monday first. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So it's a Monday first calendar, and it allows for no funky stuff, but it's close enough to a realistic real-life calendar that the players don't have a problem if I say it's September 7th. They understand that. I did break it down into the moons, so January is the first moon of the year, February is the second moon of the year, so I don't really use the month terms, but, and I've also broken it into, I think it's pretty much northern hemisphere seasons. Yes, thank you, Bex. We do love a 28-day cycle. That is 100% how I run my world, because why not make it beautifully, celestially symmetrical? So I have, I've broken them down into winter, spring, summer, and autumn, and you can see You can see I've color-coded them on this year 2. The reason that the year 1 calendar starts on the 9th moon is that's about when we estimated in the year we started. So the first year of the campaign was only the last 3 months of the year. Yes, those that have to pay attention to the moon cycles, mouse. You're not that kind of werewolf. You calm down. You just gotta make sure you don't get angry. So, the idea is, as you scroll through, you'll find, when you hover over a title of a session, you'll find the number of the session and a little summary, and then I have put the date of the day of the month that it takes place. So you see Puzzle Dungeon was on the 20th of the 9th moon, and Social Clubs, which is the next session, was on the 6th of the 10th moon, so a little time had passed between the two. I'm gonna give you a secret. I sort of arbitrarily pick dates occasionally. But I am, if you can tell, the 12th moon of the first year was when we did an almost day-to-day, not like in real time, but a every session was the next day. And hi, I have a guest. Hi, Laura. So yeah, I'm working on filling out this timeline. The idea being that then my players will actually get a sense of how time has passed, because I keep getting asked what time of the year it is and I don't remember. So I figured I'd fill it in. Was it in real time?
That was in real time.
Fuck. We played every night?
Pretty close.
Oh, it was during quarantine. I guess it's fair. Well, it's fine. Anyway, I will like to say that Storms and Stories, the summary for that one is gay stuff and pillow fights. Misery visits the Bastion of the Storm and meets Stormright Morden.
Sleepover.
But she met Morden that night. It's fine. It worked out.
Was that really? No.
That was the night. You went to, I just looked at my notes. You, Missy prayed in the book to Auril. Wrote Vigilance's name in the book because she wanted to, like, forget him. Or, like, sign him off. And Morden was there that night. You had a very small conversation with him. It wasn't a lot. You basically showed up and he was like, yeah, it's over there. And then he saw you when you walked out and was like, Jesus, what's she into?
Yeah, he called her Storm Sister.
Yeah, that's in my notes. It's funny. So what I've been doing... Oh, this is very important. So I was running a game last night, and I might throw the shenanigans into this, because it is a Mechanist-themed thing. One of my private games that I run on Start Playing, which I will put my info in here. If anybody wants to hire me to play to run a campaign for them, or a one-shot, I'm available. But one of my games, where my players are all playing Souls of Dead Adventurers, they're in Mechanist right now, trying to get an airship. Or trying to get a ship that will let them traverse the plains. So I guess more of a Spelljammer or a planar ship. But they're in Mechanist, and they wanted to get a hotel room in Mechanist, and I went, okay, sure. You find an identical row of buildings that are all labeled temporary residences, and you just pick one. And so they walk inside one of the hotels, and they meet this fellow. Who's a little buggy, and he's the bellhopper. That's the name of the hotel, too. So they, I made him sound like a Muppet, and it was delightful. But they met the bellhopper, and it was delightful. So what happened was they went through Mechanist, and to get into Mechanist, they had to sign, this is something I stole from my old DM. They had to sign an end user agreement. Specifically, it was an entering user license agreement. And it was very, very long, and they didn't read it. It's awesome. I love it when they don't read the EULA, because then I can throw things in, and they'll be like, why is that a thing? I was like, well, it was in your agreement. You signed it. And so part of their agreement was to help with some experimentation, and I found a module called the Modron module, which you should check out if you haven't. It's free on DM's Guild. It's pay what you want. And the idea is the Modron collective is running experiments to figure out what makes an adventurer adventure, like what their motivations are. So they create all of these weird scenarios with little monodrones to see, like, oh, is it the acquisition of loot? Is it saving the helpless? Is it fighting bad guys? Is it solving puzzles? What actually motivates an adventurer? But they're all monodrones with, like, shitty costumes. And it's like, Farmer Modron's like, you must save my daughter, Maiden Modron. And if you ask him any other information, he's like, I am not programmed to give that information, and I may not leave this room. I just wish that Maiden Modron was here. You must save her from evil wizard construct. And it was just all this bullshit of, like, the artifice of it. It felt very Portal, like the artifice of the experiment room. And the intercom kept going off at the end of every scene, or at the end of every room, saying, please rate your experience on a scale of 1 to 5.
Oh my god.
It was very good. They occasionally, like, one of them was rating it 4 every time because they kept getting loot. They're like, you will be paid. And then they gave them a bag of gold labeled bag of coins. It was very good. Oh god, the merchant was the best part. The merchant Modron was selling everything within weird prices. They weren't,
Sanction.
well, they were just very strange logic prices. And it turns out he was pricing them by weight. So, like, big rock was 200 gold, and little health potion was 5 gold. It was very, very good. So then they convinced him that if they wanted to sell things to him, he would buy things for 2 gold per 10 pounds. So they were like, looking, what's the heaviest stuff we have? They're like trying to do it. That is a mistake I've made in this campaign, in the Might Club campaign, is money doesn't mean anything, and I'm fixing that. I'm fixing it next time.
You use a immovable rod. Just click it.
How does that fix the money problem?
You push down really hard on the scale.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. In the Modron
Super
merchant.
heavy.
That's fair. So, this is overly complicated. Setting up this timeline is complicated enough to look at, but to actually fill it in takes a lot of coding, which is why, another reason why User 51's super badass, is that he made a Google Doc that will automatically make the code. So you just put all the entry information in, and it will automatically make the code. It's pretty badass. So what I am doing is I am going through the old timeline page, which you can see the timeline here on World Anvil is vertical, which is totally fine. It's a totally valid way to do it. It just makes it hard to scroll through when you have a short number of events or events that are happening in a smaller timescale. This is really good for, like, eras, if you want to, like, get the sense of the passage of a lot of time. But, like, if you're breaking it down by days and it's multiple things happen in a week, it's you could use the space more efficiently. So that's what I really I like about this side scrolly one. So we're finishing up the Illumis month events. So what are we on? We're on the very first one. Poetry's Folly. So that happened on the 13th. Luckily, because these all happen on about the same day, they're easy to put in here. So Poetry's Folly, then the next day is the 14th. We are getting to the dream arc, so we can talk about it a little bit if you want. So this is called Nightfall. So this is actually also requiring me to go into my notes, and it'll be helpful if Mouse and Alora, if you want to help me out here, while I'm filling it out, trying to remember what the fuck happened. So Nightfall happened on the 14th, and it's session
31.
23.
I was close.
You were close. There was a 3. Good try. 23. Yeah, that's all that happened. You're right. Nothing else happened. Just 2 gnomes got together. That's totally what happened, Mouse. Good job. So let me take a look at my club notebook. Go to my adventure log. Oh my god. I forgot that I had you guys fight an animated armor that was full of bees.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I
that
remember
is the
that now.
joke. It's full of bees. Incredible. The bees receive a mobile fortress and the armor is sustained by the latent magic in their honey. It's a bee holder. Fucking hell. Anyway, okay, so 23. Oh, so we start the dream arc.
Oh, don't remind me of that stupid avocado.
Oh, her? She's delightful. The
No.
the starch druid.
No.
So good. Alright, so, 23, Nightfall. Poetry and Amadine go to their family's place. That's right. They went to the volcano. Okay, alright. So, Amadine visits Poetry's family home.
Is that when she met
Yeah, it's when everybody got met. I have the whole family here.
Stanza?
Oh, Stanza. Oh, how she's grown. I love Vignette. Vignette's very good. A little, like, creepy sort of elf kid. I'm not quite sure what his deal is. He's another one that could get brought up in campaign 2. I'm thinking Rondo, Clef, and Vignette are all valid in that adventuring age group. To figure out what they end up doing. This was before I stopped doing the like one-shot sessions and calling them sessions. These sessions are thoroughly not numbered correctly. And
Everything's fine.
gets a glimpse into Poetry's warlock responsibilities. There's a volcano.
There's a volcano.
I need them numbered, Mouse. It's helpful to understand the passage of time.
Time doesn't exist.
And then, okay, so I bet I could find a volcano. So because they use Font Awesome on World Anvil, which is an icon set, I can select random icons to use. So each of these sessions has their own thing. So what it does here is it produces Blackboard code and CSS code, and I pick one of each of them, I put them in the right spot, and we're good to go. But what I have to actually do is I make another column and I paste it in because I have some editing I have to do. The number here, 97, is actually the pixel that it's putting it on the timeline, not the date, which is actually what I wanted to say. So I have to edit that and put the date in. So the 14th. And then we paste it into the code. And we paste the CSS at the bottom of the CSS for the code. Unfortunately, again, the text editor sort of rips apart the BB code. So I have an extra notepad that I save the code in because I'll have to paste it back in eventually if I have to update. So let's see, and there we are with the 14th. Nightfall is right there. Something's going on with those numbers, though. Why isn't that working? They should be spaced better. Let's see.
It might be due to the...
11 and 12 might have the same number. Let me check. Yes, they do. That's exactly what happened. So this should be 96. That should be 97. That should be 98. Okay, so I gotta update all these. Great. Nope. 1. 12. It is a little finicky to do this, but I think in general it's worth it. I'm used to doing finicky bullshit for website stuff, so I don't mind so much. This is definitely one of those things where I could never hand this off to somebody because it's way too fucking complicated to do correctly. Alright, so we're gonna go back to these three and see where they go. 95. There we go. That explains a lot, actually. I was having some trouble before, and now I think I know what was wrong. It's because the numbers were the same. Go back to these three. Try that. I don't do it. Okay, and then we gotta save and refresh. That's much better. And it looks like it's lined up correctly. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No, 1 week, 2 weeks. Yeah, the 14th at the end of that week. Kick ass. And then we have the volcano, which is on the 14th. And then we go back up. So the way this timeline works is you can see it better on the original. There is technically 3 different rows of events. They have them categorized by like type. So there's like an art section, a biography section, and a politics section. And they're all colored differently. So if I wanted to have different types of timelines, I could, which I might consider doing. But not enough is that broken up in the sense of like what adventurers are doing to warrant having 3 different types of events listed. So I went into the CSS and I made them all the same color so they all show up. Alright, so let's see. Now we're at the bottom, so I'm going to start back up at the top. Okay, so we're going to go... The next item goes back up to the arts at 0, and that is Dreams Part 1. Okay, now we are actually in the dream arc.
Everybody's favorite time.
Come on, it was exciting.
It was.
I hope I have achieved it again at some point, but at least something remotely similar in excitement. The 15th. Oh yeah, Dream Week. Sure. Mm-hmm. The dream. Okay, so we're gonna say. Nightclub succumbs to mystical dreams. And then part 2 was the other group. Oh, that's right. Rook was in there. Or Took was in there, rather. Ah, and Verdal was introduced in the second one. Alright, good night, mouse. Have a good evening. What's a good icon for dream other than the little thought bubble? I guess the thought bubble's probably fine. Hmm?
A bed.
Oh, that's a good call. So let's add those and see if they behave. Because these have to be offset to fit in the timeline, I'm really, really glad that this guy has a spreadsheet for this. It's way too much room, or way too much stuff to have to account for. Okay, so here was the problem. We're gonna go with. Okay, we're gonna have to make one a slightly long. Go with 3. Go to the bottom, and then 3. Okay, that's a little easier to read. And then those both happen on the 15th, so I have to edit those to both say 15th. Eh. Save. Oh, wait, oh, that's right. Misery was in Dreams Part 2, because that was bringing Morden in too. I remember that. Yeah, no.
You very much used my love for Jason Momoa against me.
Against you? I loved him too. I don't see the problem here.
There's not one.
Okay. So this is going to be a little harder to do because everything happens in such quick succession. Okay. We'll have to see how it goes. It's fine. This might be a little too tight of a fit here. Okay, the Vanguard happens on the 16th, so the next day is the Vanguard. Really? The Vanguard Part 2? Oh, it's just they're not lined up correctly. It's fine. So we have the Vanguard Part 1 and the Vanguard Part 2. Those are going to be on 4 and 5 of the arts. 100. I think those happen on the same day too. Yep, that's right. We had the party split for so much of this. People were breaking up into groups. Vanguard, and this is 26. Nightclub takes the fight to the Dream Fae. What do those look like? The Vanguard was fighting, so there's the Mara and the Mad One, okay.
Mara sucks.
She didn't actually get that many hits in.
No. But she went after Jovi.
Hey, it's Lamp Guy.
It's personal.
Oh, remember these guys? These guys were delightful. The hand people. Delightful.
I will be right back.
Yeah, sure. Oh no. of him told Kieran he was in love with her in the next episode. Oh no. Anyway. Alright. So we've got... Then we have the creators. Creators Part 2. Creators Part 3. Session 30. I think we're gonna call this. I'm gonna adjust these then, because I don't think we had an session 29 was the Umbral Core. Oh, those are the same session. Okay. That's what happened. Okay, so it goes... Creators Part 1 is session 28. 26, and then 28, 29 is the Umbral Court, then the Creators Part 2 is session 30, and then 31 is Creators Part 3. Okay, and then we had interrogation. Oh god. Interrogation. The Somna Part 1. Is dream training. 35 is addressing the Umbral Court. And then Pimsu's Big Adventure. 36 is Dream Recon. 35. 37 is the Dreamer's Dream. 38 is the Dreamer's Dream Part 2. 39 is Invasion. And Invasion. Dream Arc Final Notes. Session 40. Aftermath. Dreamer's Dream. Okay, so we're gonna just gonna condense these, I think. 26, 27. Vanguard. Creators. 28 and 28 through 31. 29. the dream training. Dressing the umbral court. 5. Nightclub goes to a fancy dress ball. Dreamer's dream. Wait, hold on. Dream recon. 36. Okay. The dreamer's dream. 37, 38. So if created part 1 happens on the 18th. Does it look? Okay. Okay, it did fit. That's good. It's just a little. Somna Part 1 is rescuing Verdal from Shadow, from Dream Court. Was there a Somna Part 2? Dreams, Creators, the Somna. I guess there wasn't really a Somna Part 2. Just call it Somna. Okay. The Creators. The creators are okay. Taking down the Dream Fae Generals one by one. Creators, Interrogation, the Somna, Bruna, Dream Training, Addressing the Umbral Court, Parallels with Ambassador of the Shadow Court, then Ambassador, Parlaying with Ambassador of the Court. Dream Recon is Trader, and then the Somna looking to make a deal. Okay. The Vanguard happened on the 16th. The Creators happened on the 18th. 18th. Interrogation happens on 20th. The parlay happens on the 19th. Rescuing Verdal happens on the 21st. And then Dream Training is on the 23rd. I just change that to nosy questions instead of nosy questions at the bar? Okay. That the Dreams Part 1 can be shifted up to 99, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. Okay. It's the 15th. Dreams Part 2 is 15th. And the Vanguard is the 16th. And then the Creators are the 18th, 15th, 19th. The Umbral Court is the 19th. And then the 20th is Interrogation. This was 31st. Okay. The 23rd is Dream Training. And 24th. Dream Recon is 24th. Okay. And then Dreamer's Dream is the 26th. The Invasion is the 26th. 26th. And that's the 26th. Okay. So we go Dreams 1, Dreams, Dreams 1, down, save, and we go, that's 99, design, go to 99, paste those, save. Okay, have it look. The Umbral Court is not lined up well. doing okay. There's 2 rows of them because fuck this month.
Yeah, we played like almost every day.
I feel like I should make a third timeline that's just this month. So you just scroll through it. It's fine. But then right after that, I'll do year 2 another time. Because we've been streaming for an hour. Alright, I think that is what I got. That's what I got in me for tonight. I'll have to troubleshoot it later. Figuring out what's wrong with the Umbral Court one. Which one are you? 102. L5. Should be the same as the shopping trip. The Arts 5. Right? Umbral Court. No? Oh, maybe that's the problem, is it should be the Arts 5. Yep, that's the problem. Okay. Figured that out. And that's the 19th. Okay, that one should work now, because that was just a mistype. Addressing the Umbral Court. Oh wait, not that one. This one. The Umbral Court. Save. Okay, that's better. And Dream Recon is in the wrong spot. Dream Recon should also be Politics 5. Oh yeah, it's on the 24th too. There we go. That should work now too. Hooray! Alright, there we go. I am comfortable now. Alright, so that's what I got, and we're gonna call it there. So, we have completed the entirety of year 1 on the timeline for Might Club. You can now scroll through and see the nonsense that happened in December. But if you go... I'll have to tweak that a little bit. What's going on with that? I'll just fiddle with that, I guess. Alright, so then the next thing is that year 2, that's where the bulk of our story has happened, even though by the time we end that, we're already 40 sessions in. We are now currently on session 95. So half of our sessions were done by the end of December in real time. And then we went on to a more sustainable schedule.
Listen, I play every day. I'm good.
You'd burn out so fast.
I die.
Yeah, we'd all die. Okay, so that's what I got, and I will see you all next week. Make sure you tune in to tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, for Shenanigans. There is every possibility that there will be a battle, but I think it's more they will need to amass their forces and make a plan. But they will be trying to coup a Fae Queen, and we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. Alright, so we'll be here next week for Discover RPG. No, we won't. There will be no Discover RPG next week. I'll be out of town. But I'll see you the following week, hoping to get a very special guest star to talk about a game that they've helped design. Get a little bit back into interviewing. But we'll see how that goes. And you all please have yourself a good night. Have yourself a good and safe week. And above all, please do me a favor and be good to each other. Alright. Good night, everybody.
I want everybody to dance. I'm just like that fiddle. And when I say hold yourself, I want all of you get ready to stop.